Behind me, you can see my wall is full of tape. And why do I have tape on my wall, you ask? That is a really great question. This is a little bit awkward, not gonna lie, talking to a camera. Hi! Okay, actually I like this lighting better. So hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'm gonna show you a cool project that I did in my room during this quarantine time because I have nothing else to do. So basically the project that I want to do is to put tape on the wall in like different triangular and rectangular shapes, and then I'll paint it and I'll remove the tape, and then it'll be like a cool art piece. And I'm gonna start off by showing you the supplies that I'm gonna use in this video to do this project.
The paint that I used is the Spare Paint and Primer in One from Home Depot in the sample size. It's an eggshell, meaning it has a finish somewhere in between glossy and matte. The 5 colors I used are Sophisticated Teal, Blue Square, Blue Echo, Cinnamon Tea, and Sonora Rose. I used this high density foam roller and handle, and also bought extra rollers to use for the different colors. These containers to hold the paint. And finally, I used this original Scotch Blue painter's tape.
So now I'm going to walk you through a little bit of the process of me putting up the tape. I filmed a little bit of it, so I'll insert some clips as well. Basically what I did is I used painter's tape that you saw in the supplies, and I just put it up in random shapes. Initially I was a little nervous about what the designs are going to look like, but honestly, like, I think the design creates itself. So what I would recommend is putting up long pieces from one end of the wall to the other end of the wall, and from there creating smaller pieces. Also, just in general, I would recommend like having larger shapes rather than like smaller triangle shapes. I think it just makes the design look nicer. I had like a few clusters of like smaller triangles, but just in general, I feel like the larger shapes would look better. And something else that I tried to do as well was, so this wall hasn't been painted in like a long time, and so some of the paint was starting to wear off. So what I did is I tried to strategically cover up the areas where like the paint was starting to peel off. That's why like some of the shapes were very different, or like not like smaller triangles and stuff, just because I was trying to cover things up. Other than that, I'm really excited to see how this turns out, so I hope you stay tuned and watch the rest of the video. keep it focused. So this is the finished masterpiece behind me. I'm really excited with the way it turned out. Some people are asking me where I got the color ideas from, or like to pair these colors together. Honestly, I just googled like color schemes or like color palettes or something like that on like Google Images, and it just showed like a bunch of different color schemes, and I was like, oh, this is something I like. These colors ended up looking really nicely together. I will say though, some of the colors were a little bit darker than I had expected them to be. For example, this one, this is kind of, I don't know, I just thought the color would be a little bit lighter, even though this lighting is a little off, but then that's the color behind me. So it was a little bit darker than I had anticipated the colors to be. I think that's just something to keep in mind, that like when a color dries, it dries darker. So next time if I were to do this and I had specific colors in mind, I would just go like one shade lighter, and then just hopefully that it'll dry like that darker color. I'm not an expert, but I'm just saying like I think that's what I learned from this experience. This isn't like a super hard thing to do, so it doesn't take like a lot of creativity. And so I think this is like super doable. I also had some friends suggest to me that this is something they want to do outside. So either like on a wall outside, like in a backyard, or like if you have a shed or something like that, this might be a really nice project to do out there. I did it with two of my younger sisters and they both really enjoyed it too. A couple notes or like some things that I wanted to put out there. I have tiles on the floor in this room, so it wasn't super hard to wipe away the paint from the tiles. Some paint would also get on the ceiling, and it was something that we could easily wipe off, but just know if you have carpet, you might want to tape and like to the corner tarp, or like we use trash bags or something like that to make sure that nothing really gets through, just because I imagine it would be really hard to remove from carpet. It took us about 3 hours or 4 hours. This wall is, I don't know the measurements, but it's like kind of the size of a bed, a little bit more, longer than the size of a bed. And I want to say like normal height, like average height maybe of walls. So it wasn't like too big or too small in my opinion. So I spent about $50, give or take, on all the materials. I ended up using only one roll of tape. I didn't use both rolls of tape. So that's kind of an expense that I could have avoided. Also the paint, they ended up being enough, and there are a little bit of leftovers in all the paints. There probably isn't enough for like another wall this size, but maybe something smaller, like a smaller project that we can work on in the future. I bought one of those roller things. If I had known that my sisters would help me a lot, I would have bought more, but I didn't, unfortunately. For the smaller triangles and for the corners a little bit, we ended up using regular paintbrushes, like for acrylic paint. And that ended up working well too. A lot of times we would just go over with the roller sponge thing. I don't know what it's called. Overall, this was something really fun and relatively easy. If you like to see this kind of creative content or creative videos, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you can, you know, like, comment, subscribe. You can share this video with your friends and family and your cousins and uncles and grandparents and all those lovely people. I'm trying to get back into film and like editing, so that's something I really enjoy. But this is my first time doing, first of all, like a sit down, like talking to you all, and also doing more of like a creative thing. I do have a lot of other travel videos, and that's something that I've done a lot in the past. I really enjoy traveling and I enjoy making travel videos. The past few travels I haven't done videos, mainly because carrying around a camera, like I have a Canon T6i, and so carrying it around just got like really exhausting. In the last few trips I didn't even take my camera with me. But doing more videos like this is definitely easy and doable, and that's something that I'd love to keep doing. But also I really want to get back to like making travel videos and like mini documentary videos. If you recreate this in your home or in your room, I don't know if you can share like photos, but you can share photos with me or on my social media or whatever. You could just reach out to me and share photos with me. That'd be really cool to see how many people do it and what colors you use. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it.
Maybe it's just the quarantine getting to your head.